welcome to a special edition of Techtalk-With-AFO. This special edition is a masterclass for my Spark scholars. We have this masterclass for a simple reason. It's simply because we are trying to unleash the future leaders. For Spark Scholars, I'm sure some people are interested in knowing what Spark Scholars Initiative is all about. But wait a moment, I'm going to tell you about that later. But first, let's even talk about the essence of the Leadership Masterclass we are having. Some folks believe that leaders are born, that you are born to be a leader. But personally, I believe that leadership values can be taught. I don't know if Praise also agrees with this, but I believe leadership values can be taught. And the best way to start, of course, is to start early enough, as early as we can. And that's a simple reason why we are putting this 4-week series together to get our kids ahead of their peers as much as we can. Now, so on this session, Mr. Praise, we have kids between the ages of 12 to 16. They've heard so much about you. They are looking forward to engaging with you. They also have lots of questions, of course, to ask after your presentation. So like I said, it's a fixed 4 weeks masterclass. Today's topic is understanding leadership. Mr. Praise would, PF like we like to call him, would demystify everything about leadership. Some of my kids on this call already told me, you know, this butterfly that runs in your stomach when they are called on stage to come and have a conversation or to make a presentation in class, right? Why does that happen? I'm sure these are part of what Mr. Praise will delve into, walk us through the entire process. I'm going to briefly introduce Mr. Praise to us for some of us that doesn't know him. Some of us met him yesterday. I mean, he had an interesting presentation at the House on the Rock Church, where Mr. Praise called out our parents. You know, I mean, because I'm also a father myself, some of the things he said there, and to an extent, I really felt bad that how come I've been guilty of all these things, not realizing that I'm taking out what I experienced from my childhood on my kids. You know, that lesson was really very engaging. Thank you, Mr. Praise. Mr. Praise is, you know, an exceptional individual. He has been around for quite a while, 20 years of experience. He's a distinguished principal consultant of PF Research LLC, Praise Fowowe Research LLC, where he utilizes his vast expertise in family system engineering, neuro-linguistic programming. That's a powerful word. Mr. Praise will tell us the meaning of that. And international mediation to develop research-driven solutions for C-suite executive, families, organizations, and communities. He has, like I said, over 20 years of experience supporting families and workplaces, and simply doing what? Significantly impacting family life strategies across various cultures, sectors, helping clients achieving wellness and harmony. So who else can do justice to leadership for youth, if not my friend, my one and only, world famous, Praise Fowowe. A round of applause for my friend. Guys, a round of applause for Mr. Praise. Mr. Praise, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Afo.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, and thank you, everyone, for showing up. I am going to make it as brief as possible, because I love to hear you speak. I learned that you're on mute. I will appreciate if this can be interactive. The first thing I want to do is to play a video, a simple video, and I want you to watch carefully. And then we will have a conversation, maybe a bit around this. Then I'll teach you what I think about leadership. And then I believe that will help. Okay, so let's watch this.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर। सर आइए सर। ये चल चल जाओ, बोलना क्या बात करता है, क्या ऊपर से जाएगा, क्या ऊपर से जा।
गया मेन शो।
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना।
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा?
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता रे हो। कौन तुझको पार लेगा, कौन होगा वो मसीहा, जिसे तू ढूंढता है वो ही है तू वही है। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तू ही रे तेरा मसीहा हो।
Okay. Please, can you unmute I want to hear from them. If you can put on your camera, that would be great. Okay, so can you tell me who wants to talk? You can raise your hand and I'll call you. What can you make out of that video, that short video? There was something there that was so powerful. Anyone wanting to talk?
For decorum, please raise up your hand and I'll call you. We have Deborah. Deborah is going first.
And then Abib.
Deborah, unmute yourself. And put on your
Teamwork
video.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork leads to dream work. Teamwork leads to dream work. Fantastic. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, Abib.
It takes one person, like it takes one person to make a change. Like when someone does something, like the motivation, like everybody come together and do the same thing, like you said, just teamwork makes the dream work, something like that. Yeah, that's on that part.
It takes one person to make a change. So one person. Okay, Mubarak.
I learned that one good act leads to another.
Thank you very much, Mubarak. Now, you have all said the same thing, the three of you, in different ways. Now, that video is a summary of leadership. That there was a problem, and then there were adults there, and everyone was complaining. And that happens all the time. You find people complaining about the problem. Oh, why is this place dirty? Why is America like this? Why is Africa like this? Why is this? Why is this? Why is this? Oh, you know, this place is so messed up. The place is so dirty. You know, this, Hey, until one person stands up to say, you know what, I'm going to fix this, that's when leadership is born. Now, everyone complaining has got the capacity to fix the problem. But then, irresponsibility or a sense of entitlement to say, someone's got to fix this for me. It's going to be government. It's going to be my parents. It's going to be my friend. It's going to be this. This person is to blame. And people don't know that, you see, life puts problems in front of you to unleash and unravel the leadership that dwells in you. So every time you run from problems, you're running from leadership. So I wanted to pay close attention to what I'm going to be teaching you today, because it's really, really going to transform your life. And if you have questions, I am going to take your questions at the end of this presentation. Like I said, I don't want to bug you too much. And then I'm going to give you a task, an assignment, which I'm going to review with you when next we meet. Now, so I have titled this Leadership Edge, which is basically understanding leadership. Now, I'm going to show you something about the art of dispensable leadership. I want to take a look at this picture. Now, look at this picture. That's a bridge. It's called Carter Bridge. You can see what it looked like in 1943. That's Carter Bridge in Lagos. Now, you can see what it looks like if you look down to my right in 1963. But you can see what it looks like in 2021. Right? So, from this picture, you could literally see that it looks like 1943 was better than 2021. It even looked like 1963 was better than 2021. Now, what could have gone wrong? How did a bridge that was this organized in 1943 degenerate to this, what you have right now in 2021? Now, let's contrast that with this next picture. This is I Bridge in New York. You can see what it looked like in 1843. You can see what it looked like in 1963. And you can see what it looked like in 2021. Same year, in fact, this was 1848, which was even longer. 1963, then 2021. Now, the difference between those two cities is nothing but leadership system. And that's why we say that everything rises and falls on leadership. That if you see an environment that is progressive, or if you see your life progressive, is leadership. If you see a life, looking worse than what it used to be, is also leadership. And so leadership is what you do or what you refuse to do. So I know that a lot has been said about leadership. Well, what many people don't know is that the moment you deserve to serve and take responsibilities for other people, then you become a leader. Jesus said, "He that seeks to be the leader among you, let him be the servant of all." That doesn't smell nice. That doesn't sound good. How can I be servant to? In fact, when we're growing up, if you pray that may I become a servant to my mate, your parents are going to spank you or smack you or tell you don't do it. But the greatest servants in the world today are the richest people in the world. The man who decides to give the entire world Tesla, a brand new, a different kind of car that doesn't ride on fuel, is the richest man. He used to be the man who was serving the world with Windows, Bill Gates. That a lot of us, especially for those of us who are Africans, where we come from, the kind of thing you hear is, you cannot grow, an elephant cannot blow like the horn at the same time with the sun. And I said, no, that's not correct. That's a limiting belief. The father elephant can blow treble, mother elephant can blow alto, son elephant can blow tenor, the daughter elephant can blow bass. And that's beautiful harmony. So if anyone ever says to you that you are too young to take responsibilities, you are too young to make a change, they lie. And so Shirley Sandberg says that leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that that impact lasts in your absence. So if you go back to that video, you could literally see that young boy and you would ask yourself, how come the adults didn't have the intelligence, they didn't have the awareness to know that someone has got to step down and go, solve the problem, right? But all of them were complaining because we're used to complaining. It's so easy to complain. But you see, nobody gets paid for complaining. There's no profession called complaint, incorporated. That until you step out, the authenticity of your life is hidden. Until you take responsibilities for other people, nothing happens. So here are a couple of fundamental truths that I want you to pay attention to today. Then I'll define leadership and I'll say a few things, then I'll be done. Number one of the critical needs in our world today is the need for leadership. Is the biggest need, especially, look at America. Election is coming, and then we have two people. I'm sure almost everyone is confused to say, who do we choose between two people, right? Look at Africa. Africa's problem has been a leadership problem because politicians are not leaders, right? Because politicians think about the next election. Leaders think about the next generation. That's the difference. So a lot of people who brandish, who stand up to say, I'm a leader, they are not leaders. And you would understand when I say they're not leaders, because there's so much leadership in you that you need to begin to cultivate it, and you need to begin to bring it up. Now, everyone can become a leader, but not everyone will become a successful leader, because leadership is costly. So leadership is not cheap. But you see, even though it's not cheap, but leadership is who you are. You become a leader the moment you step out to become yourself and take responsibility for other people's problems, right? And that's why in your school, the guy who says the school is dirty, let's clean it up, that's the leader. The guy who says, you know what, why would you bully someone? I'm going to stand against you for bullying someone, that's the leader. The guy who goes home and says, you know what, my parents are not at home, I'm going to arrange the house, that's the leader. The person who says, you know what, it's lunchtime, mom is not at home, I'm going to fix the meal, that's the leader. The person who goes to the room and say, you know what, all this room is in our house, they just look upside down, I'm going to clean them up, that's the leader. Right? So the leader is not someone who sits down. I mean, African definition of leadership is the person who controls everyone, you know, and tells them what to do. That's not a leader. That's a space holder, right? The greatest threat to leadership are powerful leaders with slavery operating system. Because a leader must not have a slavery mentality, a limiting belief, a belief that says, I'm the only one they must see. Nobody must be seen. It's just me. Other people cannot become themselves. That's not a leader. So if you are the type, you only want yourself to be seen, you can't collaborate with others, you can't bring them up, you're not a leader, because your leadership is measured not by the number of people that followed you, but by the number of leaders you have raised. So you need to understand that leadership is about helping others find themselves and helping them become better. When a leader is not free, it becomes a threat to potential leaders because he sees them as followers and not leaders. Leaders don't produce followers, leaders produce leaders. And that's why we say that you cannot use the words leadership and insecurity or low self-esteem together, because leaders whose esteem is tied to numbers can't set people free. Now, young people, I want to know that I'm teaching you a different dimension to leadership. Why? Because I believe you are the hope of America and you are the hope of Africa. You guys are someday going to go back to Africa and set Africa free. And you're going to show them that, you know, it's not about you. It's about the problem and our ability to collaborate to solve the problem. And you are going to be so good at doing what you do that even if your name is not mentioned, you'll be glad that you got it solved. When leadership is not understood and embraced, warlords and bullies will masquerade as leaders, and the culture of big men with weak system is perpetuated. So I want you to look at these people and tell me, which of them do you think is a great leader? So in case you don't know them, the man at the top left is David Ben-Gurion. David Ben-Gurion was the guy responsible for the nation Israel as you have it right now. He was the guy that built the new Israel and became the leader that ensured that the Jews have a settlement. The guy to your right is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was the guy that ensured that colonization ended in India. Mahatma Gandhi was not a political leader. Mahatma Gandhi didn't have any money like that. But Mahatma Gandhi, if he stands, I mean, there was a group of people were fighting, two tribes were fighting in India. And Mahatma Gandhi told them to stop, and they weren't stopping. And Mahatma Gandhi told them, if they don't stop fighting, he will start fasting till he fasts himself to death, that he will not eat food. So they thought he was joking, so he started fasting. By the time Mahatma Gandhi had emaciated, he had looked very pale. He was almost at the point of death. The two worrying factors came together and they came to beg him that we are going to be friends now. We're not going to fight anymore. Right? He didn't force them. They literally came to, cease fire simply because one man stood up. Now, the other guy to your downside, that's Lee Kuan Yew. That was the man who took Singapore from the third world to the first world nation. The guy in the middle is Idi Amin of Uganda. Idi Amin Dada. When we were younger, we saw the movie The Rise and Fall of Idi Amin. That was the guy who literally stole a nation dry. Right? He was a totalitarian leader. People were afraid of him. He killed a lot of people. You couldn't argue with him. People consider him to be a leader. But then you have Sheikh bin Rashid, Al Maktoum. That's the modern day leader of Dubai. So everything you see happening in Dubai, all the technological innovation, advancement, that's the guy behind it. Now, I want to ask you, which of these leaders would you want to be like and why? Or which of them is not a leader, it's not a proper leader, you don't want to be like him? Anybody, you can raise your hand.
Put up your hand.
Okay, Mubarak.
The leader of Dubai.
You want to be like him. Why do you want to be like him?
Because I've seen Dubai. I know what it looks like. Everything is technologically advanced. Everyone's making money. Everybody's rich. The economy is growing. Everything's flourishing, and that seems nice.
Good, Mubarak. So what you're saying is you want to be the leader that ensures that every other person is prosperous. That's brilliant. Kalik, are you there? Or Elizabeth?
Yes, I'm here. I like to be like Mahatma Gandhi because he risked his own self just to save the lives of everybody else, to stop conflict.
Fantastic. That's a selfless leader. So you want to be selfless enough to say, you know what, I'm going to stand for the weak and I'm going to ensure that the society works. Thank you very much, Kalik.
I want to be like the guy on the top, Gandhi, right there.
Okay,
because
that's
who is that?
David Ben-Gurion.
Really? Oh, anyway, I want to honestly be like him because what he did was very peaceful, and I don't want to solve conflict through physical force, more like peace throughout people and make them see sense.
Oh, okay, so it's Mahatma Gandhi you're talking about. Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. I love that, Elizabeth. So you want to bring peace to the world. You want to ensure that things work on this planet. And I love that. And I'm sure that you wouldn't like the idea of going to war and what is happening with Russia and Ukraine, or what is happening between Israel and Palestine. You want peace. And that's what I want. I mean, Mahatma Gandhi is one of my models. Nobody wanted to be like Idi Amin. Nobody. Right. And that's exactly what happens. The question is, how do others see you? Your siblings who are younger than you, when they see the way you treat them, do they see you like Idi Amin? Or do they see you like Mahatma Gandhi? Do they see you like Lee Kuan Yew? Do they see you as David Ben-Gurion? Do they see you as Al Maktoum? How do they see you? Your friends at school, the junior students, how do they see you? Do they see you as a peaceful leader, or they see you as a bully like Idi Amin? So you need to understand that leadership is the personhood of discovery, development, and deployment of personal powers in becoming a system that assists others replicate the same in making the world a better place. So let me break that down. So it first means that leadership is who you are. It's not what you do. It's both who you are, because if you do it without being it, you manipulate people. But if it's first of all an awareness to say, I am a leader, I am responsible, and I'm going to influence people, because the same way that young boy took responsibility to go and influence other people positively, there was someone that put that tree across the road in the first place. That person also is a bad leader, right? So it's the personhood of you discovering yourself. Who am I? You need to know who you are. And you need to flaunt who you are at every point in time because you do not want other people to determine who you are or to influence you into doing what you're not. Number 2, development. To say, now I know I can talk, but how do I develop it into skill? How do I grow myself? How do I ensure that I'm a better person? Right? And so it's a question you want to ask and answer. Right? And so, sorry, let me take that back. Are we recording at all? Because I think we should record the session.
Yes, we are, sir. We are, sir.
Yeah. So it's the personhood of discovery, development, and deployment of your personal powers. So you are looking within you and you're asking yourself, Elizabeth, what power do you have? I have the power to write, right? And so I may not be the president, but I'm going to write. I'm going to keep writing like maybe Wale Soyinka, right? I'm going to keep writing maybe like, some of the greatest authors you have. Or maybe the power you have is you can talk. And you say, you know what? I'm going to change the world with my voice like Tony Robbins. I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to grow myself, develop myself, and become so good at talking that when I talk, the world will listen to me. Maybe what you can do is tech or AI, but you're saying to yourself, I'm going to deploy my AI capacity to change the world. I know there are people using it to destroy the world. I'm going to ensure that children are not exposed unnecessarily to stuff they shouldn't be exposed to. I know children are doing drugs. Some of them are doing pornography. I am going to build a tech solution that ensures that children can enjoy themselves without getting exposed to the wrong thing. So it's the personhood of discovery, development, and deployment of my personal powers in becoming a system. So I'm not just going to become successful. I'm going to assist other people do the same. So what I know, I am going to teach other people, and I'm going to lead them, influence them to make the world a better place. So I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I was in Nigeria, and I was taking a walk around a place in Ajegunle in Lagos State, which is the densely populated ghetto. And I saw young girls prostituting. They were prostitutes, young girls, teenage prostitutes. And they were displaying themselves on the road, and men were picking them. And I felt something was wrong. And so I got to my room and I was complaining like everybody, complaining, what will government do? Why is government not doing this? And I felt, Praise, what can you do? And I said, I don't have money to rehabilitate them, but I can talk them out of prostitution. And that was how I went to Brothel the following day and started talking them out of prostitution, started talking them back home, and that was how I worked with over 300 of them and took them back home. Now, their parents are grateful. Some of them are married today. They have gone to universities. I have some of them who have become PhD, or at least one of them has become a PhD holder. I have some of them who are master's degree holders. But those were lives who would have died in the brothel if I did nothing. So there is something you can always do. There's someone hungry around you. You can galvanize your friends and say, you know what, let's feed the hungry. That's leadership. Right? You're not even going to look at the fact that, I'm in America, I'm an African, maybe they don't respect. No. See, when someone is hungry and you give them food, they don't consider your skin color. The person that feeds them is the one they defer to. Say, you know what? I'm going to make a difference in the lives of people. So true leaders make others become themselves and transform followers into leaders. So you don't make people become like you or become you, sorry. They become themselves. So leadership is not cloning. Say, talk like me. No, that's not leadership. Leadership is not slavery, servitude, that they are serving you for the rest of their life. They are carrying your bag. They are prostrating behind. You see them on social media. You see all these guys who hail all the celebrities. I think the video has some guy called Israel. I'm sure you know him. Everywhere he goes, he's prostrating. It's not servitude. Leadership is not threat-induced. You don't threaten people like Idi Amin. If you don't do it, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to deal with you. It's not threat-induced manipulation. Leadership is not conditional law. If you don't do this, I will not do this. No, leadership is not loyalty buying. Say, I'm doing it for you so that you can be loyal to me. Leadership is not perfectionism or pretense. Say, let's pretend, let's lie. And it's not West African idolatry where you have to worship some guy because he has done something for you. Now, if you're in Africa, that might be a strategy, but, from the grand scheme of things, True leadership, it's not about any of these things. True leadership is making others themselves and transforming followers into leaders. So let me say this, that the man who creates the platform where others can become the best version of themselves without the fear of losing out when they no longer need him is the ultimate leader. That what makes you the ultimate leader is the fulfillment to say, you know what? Oh, wow, I came to this class today and I had 30 young people in the meeting, and I inspired them to love themselves and maximize their potential and release their gifting and work on themselves to become the best that can ever exist, right? And then 10, 20 years down the line, some of them are tech giants, some of them are mayors, some of them are back in Africa as governors, some of them are in the arts and entertainment space, and then now they are influencing the world positively. The man who creates that platform where others can become a better version is the leader. So, for example, on this call, AFO is our leader because it's the one that made the platform possible to get me to come and talk to you. So what platform are you going to make available for other people? Do you know, as a young person in Africa and in America, you can begin to gather African young people and say, you know what, young Africans, we're going to be bringing, top people to come and be talking to us and inspire us because we have to do better here and we have to become the best version of ourselves so that we can make a lot of money and make a lot of influence to go and transform Africa. You can do that. Every time you see a gap is an opportunity for your leadership to be born. And so I am going to say this to you carefully, that many of us as young people who are from Africa, of African descent, we are too fixated on distraction that we never realize our potential. We are distracted by what people have told us, stories about racism. That's real, but you see, it never defines you. We are fixated about, people telling you you can't do it. Oh, your parents don't have papers yet. You can't do it. We are fixated about those things. You need to know that if you listen to naysayers, they will kill the leadership potential in you. You are bigger than what anyone ever says to you. And that's why you have to look within you to say, what is within me? And for you to check what is within you, you know the song we sing, we are HAPPY, when you write happy. If you write happy on your note, on your jotter, on your pad, if you type happy, you need to know that to find your leadership is trapped in those letters, HAPPY, where H stands for your heart. What does your heart tell you that you are the best at? What does your heart say to you that you are very good at? Something that when others are doing it, you can literally criticize them and say, no, I can do better than this. I can do better than this. Or when you see a movie and someone is out, say, no, that's not the way it should be done. Every time you can spot the fault and you can correct a mistake is proof that there's a potential to building something better is resident in you. So what does your heart tell you are the best at? A stands for your ability. What are you naturally good at that you do effortlessly? What is that thing that you do without anybody teaching you? Maybe you just know how to dress. You know how to make up. You know how to take care of yourself. You just love tech. You just love to, scramble things and reassemble things. You just love to talk. You love to argue. What is that thing you do effortlessly? Write down the answer. The first P is your personality. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you an introverted extrovert? Are you an extroverted introvert? You want to check the next P is your passion. What is that thing that when you're doing it, you forget about food, you forget about time? Like I'm coaching you right now. I've been to the clinic this morning to do some blood work, but you wouldn't know because I just love to do this. I love to teach. I love to coach young people. I love to help people get better. I love to sit with families. I've had 2 sessions already today as well, right? What are you passionate about? What is that thing that when you do it, you don't remember food, you don't remember time, right? Then Y stands for yesterday. What has happened to you in the past that you don't want others to go through? What pain have you been through that you don't want others to go through it? I'm sure why AFO does what he's doing right now is because he knows how many years he wasted because he followed the wrong set of people. That's why he doesn't want you to make that mistake. He doesn't want to waste time. He doesn't want to fail, some of the subjects that he had to go through simply because, it was with the wrong set of people. So what is it about your yesterday that you don't want others to go through? The moment you answer HAPPY, leadership is born, and you go out and say, you know what, I may not have everything I need, but I can start from somewhere. That's where leadership is born. So far, I have shown you a video of a little boy who was wise enough, smart enough. He didn't have money. He didn't have all the degrees. He didn't have what all the big people, rich people had, but he had enough awareness to become the leader that will move that thing out of the road that was blocking the road. So what is the tree blocking the road in your sector, in your school, in your life? What is that thing that you can easily do almost immediately? What is that thing that your parents complain about all the time? That it's almost like it's a national anthem, they sing it all the time. Do this, do this. Can you take responsibilities today and just, after this meeting, go there and clean it up and fix it and see how that makes them feel? Because the ability to do it is in you. But you see, every time you don't do it, it's irresponsibility. If you write the word responsibility, it's a combination of 3 words. Response, ability, then in between response and ability is I. So responsibility is responding to the ability that resides in you. So if you see the place is dirty, you have the ability to respond to it. Every problem you see.
Can you take that statement again? Sorry for cutting you. I mean, I love the way it rhymes.
So I say that responsibility is responding to the ability that resides within you. So it's a combination of response, ability, and I. So you've got to ask yourself, what ability is in me that I am not responding to? What problem can I see and I know I can solve it, but I'm refusing to solve it? Every time you are refusing to solve it, you know what you're doing? You are walking away from leadership. I don't want to be a leader. Let me be a servant. Let me be a follower. And if you're a follower, it's easy to mislead you. So I'm going to give you an assignment. You're going to go watch a movie called 3 Idiots. I know some of you have seen it before. You've got to see it again. I think it's on Netflix. It's also on YouTube. 3 Idiots is an Indian movie by a guy called Rancho. Right? You will list out the 7 leadership traits that stood out Rancho and how you can apply it to yourself. What are the 7 leadership traits that you can spot in the life of Rancho in that movie, and how can you apply it to yourself? So that will be your own play. I don't like to call it homework. It's own play. So go watch it, play with it, and then just write the 7 leadership traits that stood Rancho out in that movie, and how can you apply it to yourself? That's where I'll stop today. If you have questions, I'll take your questions. I hope this has been helpful for you.
Indeed, it has been helpful. I've been taking notes. I mean, I've taken my notebook is full with so many points and so many facts. Even for me as a full older guy, not the same age with our friends on the call, I still have a whole lot to learn from you. And to be honest with you, I don't know how to express how grateful I am to you, on what you've shared today. It's a major eye-opener, right? Responsibility is the response to the ability in you. I never knew that's the meaning of responsibility for a long time. Thank you for that. Reflect on the question you want to ask. You have an assignment already, but we have to engage him now that is here. For the next 20 minutes is actually going to be about your questions and answer. While we're waiting on question, I also want to share a leadership trait I demonstrated about 30-something years ago. This was way back on Lagos Island, Mr. Praise. I live in a place called, it's between Onola and Gbangboshe. It's called Vincent Street. But for you to get to the park, Mr. Praise, you have to go all the way to campus. That's probably about the only place you can have as your park on Lagos Island where we converge as kids to play. So I went with my brother for this football match. Normally, we go there to play. But there's this guy called Ajadi. Femi Ajadi, big guy, huge, right? We already started the game and it was time for our own set to get on the field to play. And Ajadi took advantage of us. He doesn't want us to have our set as expected. The skinny me that I went around to everybody on the field and convinced them not to play that particular match. And Ajadi was left by himself. He was so furious. And guess what? He beat me silly. Mr. Praise, I've not been beaten like this before in my life. Ajadi beat me silly. My brother came to my rescue. He beat me and my brother. 20 years after that experience, about 21 years after that experience, I was coming from Victoria Island for some business transaction and there was traffic. And I got on a bike from CMS to my office at TBS. Guess what? Praise. The bike rider was Ajadi. When we got to TBS, I gave Ajadi 5,000 naira. I didn't realize who gave him 5,000 naira. But I still have memory of that experience.
Okay, so what did you understand from the class today? Maybe that will be fine. So let me ask you a question. What did you learn in class today? Anybody? You want to share?
I learned about the qualities of a leader.
Okay. Which of the qualities did you learn?
I learned that a leader does not manipulate or enslave others.
Good.
Which is mostly what I used to describe as a leader. Like they give others and like other people are expected to follow it since they're the leader. But now
Yes. So from today's class, I learned that being a leader is not just about seeing that you are on top and that everybody else is beneath, but rather it's about working together and bringing up other leaders as well.
Fantastic. Well done. Rafi?
In today's class, I learned that being a leader just takes one person to make a change. And you don't want to, being a leader doesn't mean that you have to manipulate people into doing things that you want just because you're at a higher rank.
Fantastic. Elizabeth?
I honestly learned that being a leader is not just looking out for yourself, but also looking out for the well-being of other people and making sure that first they're doing good before yourself, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, right? You always make sense, right? Okay, let me have Deborah.
Leadership is not about slavery.
Selina?
I learned that being a leader is actually like just taking responsibility. It doesn't have to be like one big role that they have to announce you, but it's just taking responsibility even in the little things, and that's how to groom yourself even as a leader.
That's so profound. So people just look for positions are called positional leaders. They are not real leaders. The person that does the influencing is the real leader. Thank you very much, Selina. Chris?
What I have learned from this class is that being a leader, like Selena said, basically influencing others, not like forcing them to do what you want, but instead helping them and also influencing them so that you can also raise other leaders.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Praise.
I learned that the ultimate goal of a leader is to like just produce even more leaders.
Yeah, that's it.
And like so that they can learn from you.
That's it. That's it. You got it. Mutiat.
I learned that being a leader it starts with you discovering yourself and knowing your ability and what you can do with it and making a difference with your ability to make other people leaders.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mutiat. Khalik.
Today, I learned that being a good leader, you have to have a vision and you need to have empathy for the people you're leading. You need to have clear communication and always think about other people before you think about yourself. You should be accountable and should be able to inspire others to become leaders too.
Fantastic. I love that. Joshua.
I learned that as a leader, you have to build up your character around others so that they can learn from you.
Good. Olamide.
I learned that being a leader means that you give everybody a chance to speak and cooperate so you can make them better and become leaders.
Fantastic. And Mercy.
Being a leader is about thinking about others before you. That you should not just think that being a leader is to have people to follow you, but you should think about making them leaders as well.
You guys have made me proud. Thank you. It means I'm a very good teacher. And you guys are good students. It means you're leaders as well. So you're going to have to go do your own plays that I've given you. And then we'll start from there next week. We'll review it. You can, your coordinator will tell you how to submit it, but we'll discuss it when we meet again next week. Next week, we'll look at the power of vision. And I'll teach you one exercise that will do a very interesting exercise next week. I can't wait to see you guys. So enjoy yourself. And my name is Praise Fowowe. People call me PF. So it's okay. If you call PF, that's what everybody calls me. That's fine. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yeah, PF, before you go, very quickly, right? I'm sure you are, more than impressed with the type of feedback you got from my Spark scholars. Remember at the beginning, I said people are interested in knowing what Spark scholars are, and I really wanted you to experience my scholars and to know why they are Spark scholars. Spark, you ignite, right? Now, these are young kids who have committed to being the best in any situation they find themselves, right? They are committed to becoming valedictorians. They are committed to getting 100% scholarship to the best university in America, to take the burden of debt off themselves and off their parents. And guess what? They are doing this thing, all of this that I've mentioned, right? They are doing it also making something out of it. Their parents signed them up for this particular engagement because for them yielding their time to study, yielding their time is going to get them prize and gift from their parents for their dedication and commitment. And that's what they do consistently. So for example, the first 10 kids for summer are already looking forward to what they'll be getting at the end of summer. The first prize is a powerful gaming laptop, very powerful machine. The second one is an iPhone. I'm not even sure if PF has an iPhone as powerful as what they are getting. The third one is a powerful Samsung phone. The fourth to sixth prize is an $100 gift card, and 7 to 10 will get $75 gift card. Apart from that, their parents made a pledge of gifting them something special when they yield their time, right? It's an interesting competition. While they are being committed to being a better person, they are also making something in their pockets. Tell me that is not amazing, PF.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So if you know any kid that also want this transformational experience, please don't hesitate to recommend them for us. So for my Spark scholars, please remember, when you refer your friend or talk to your friend's mom or dad, you are getting a $10 gift card, right? You're getting a $10 gift card. My student tutor, remember we are planning our summer events. Some are up for urban air, some are up for epic waters, right? We study and work very hard, and we also play very hard. Saturday, we are coming together to play. You guys are yet to decide. Is it going to be Roblox we are playing online, or we are going to game house and enjoy ourselves? Can you decide this on this call? We can talk about that later. We don't want to hold Praise for too long. Praise, you are an amazing guy. You are wonderful. You are one in a million. Any other PF is a counterfeit. A round of applause for PF, guys. A round of applause for PF. Thank you, PF, for your time.